Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? It is Chad here with another In the OT podcast for BetUpSportsBlog.com. Finally, we can now start to break down the Eastern Conference Finals for the 2012 NHL playoffs as we have a classic series on our hands here with division rivals that we like to call the Battle of the Hudson River, with the Rangers hosting the New Jersey Devils. And I believe that the New Jersey Devils are going to win this series for a couple of reasons. And the first and foremost reason has everything to do with the fact that the Rangers have gone through two extremely grueling 7-game series where they've had to exert so much energy just to even get to the point where they are now. And you have to believe that there's got to be just a little bit something taken out of them. And it's extremely rare for teams to have done that, to go on and win a third straight series, especially when you're going up against a team like the New Jersey Devils that have the amount of talent that they do up front. And when you look at the way the Rangers have played a lot of their games, every single win they've had has had to come to the nail, 1-goal leads, protecting, blocking shots, going full out, and just playing such a grinded out style that eventually I believe it's going to catch up to them, and there could be some games where they just absolutely get blown out and don't have the offense to come back. Whereas on the other hand, you look at a team like New Jersey, and in the first round, when it appeared that they were struggling against the Florida Panthers at times, they completely changed in the second round against Philadelphia. It was like a brand new team, more of what I expected going into the playoffs than what I had seen in the first round against New Jersey or against Florida. So I think we saw the true colors of this Devils hockey team. And when you look at their forwards, they have way more game breakers, whether it's Kovalchuk and Parise, who in my opinion are two top 10 forwards in the league. You look at some of the other guys like a Zajac and an Enrique, and then you have the likes of a Clarkson and a Sikora as well. I just believe that they have way more depth up front, which will be an advantage for them offensively anyways. The Rangers definitely have a lot of depth, but they don't have that many bona fide scorers. Most of their guys are those grinded out type of forwards that just rely on the forecheck and the hard work down low, and Brad Richards probably being really the only extremely skilled guy. Well, Gabrick is as well, but this guy's an absolute joke. What an embarrassment, making $7 million a year, and the guy can't even sniff out getting a couple shots on goal or some scoring opportunities, so that's why I don't even consider him. He's pretty much done, in my opinion, in terms of being an offensive threat. So I just believe that if the games are to get tight, that New Jersey has a little bit more to give in terms of being able to score on them. And I know you could have said the same thing about Washington with their game breakers, but it seems like those guys have brought more into defensive style of system where Dale Hunter wasn't getting the most out of their overall offensive talents. Not quite the case with Peter DeBoer. We saw what happened against the Flyers. And one other note that I think is huge for this New Jersey team is how much better they've played defensively since putting Adam Larson into the lineup, who was not there for a long period of time, pretty much the entire first round against Florida, and I believe the first game against Philly in the second round. This guy is an up-and-coming stud. He was drafted 5th overall, and it's good to see him in there. And when you look at the New Jersey defense, they don't have a ton of puck movers. They don't have that real bona fide number one defenseman, but when you're going up against a team like the Rangers who don't have a ton of skill, I don't think they're going to really expose them for that. And yes, of course, you can say that Lundqvist probably has a slight goaltending edge over Brodeur based on the fact that he's younger and Brodeur has looked a little shaky, but like I said, you need a really good offensive team to maybe expose some of the Devils' deficiencies. And I know everyone just thinks of the Devils as being this low-scoring, boring, grinded-out team from back in the day, but let me tell you, the entire way they play hockey is completely changed, and they're far more offensive and more skill, and I think them having a couple of extra days off is going to play huge into their hands. I think their confidence is peaking at an all-time high right now, and beating Philadelphia, who just beat Pittsburgh, is going to do a lot for them, and I just see that the Rangers are going to run out of steam in this series. And I'm going to be looking to play on the Devils a lot from a gambling perspective, especially when they're dogs on the road. And just in general, this is another series that I'm going to be looking to play the road team because both the Devils and the Rangers had better road records than they did home records. It's not like they're really traveling far either, and we know, just the way these two fierce rivals go at it and the way the NHL playoffs is going, you can't really ever be that confident laying it down on a favorite. So, especially in Game 1, I really do like the Devils here to come out strong in this series. And you just look at New York, they really haven't been able to string together a series of good games. Have they won 2 games in a row, even once in the playoffs, maybe once in the first round against Ottawa? You just feel like they've gotten sort of every break to go their way, winning that game against Washington with the goal with 7 seconds left in an overtime. And I don't know. I just feel like they're going to run out of steam. I feel like New Jersey's playing better hockey, more complete. They're capable of just stringing together more wins. So give me the Devils to win this series here in 6 games on their home ice, and I'll be taking a look at them on the road as an underdog and betting on them probably every game. And if they're at home and they're only having to lay -110 or -120, sign me up there as well, because they have now won 4 games in a row at the Prudential Center, and they're starting to heat up. So that's my In the OT podcast here, Bet Up Sports Blog, breaking down the Eastern Conference Finals. I already provided you guys what I thought about the Western Conference Final. That I had to do in written format. It's on the website yesterday, and we're off to a good start there with the Kings winning this evening, taking a 1-0 series lead.